I inherited millions, kept it private, and lived modestly for years, but when my fiancé finally found out, he demanded something he hadn't earned and gave me an ultimatum. Plus one update. Follow Reddit Rocky for daily stories. My fiancé Tom is 37, and I'm 28. We've been together for 2 years. He moved into my house 6 months ago, and we got engaged a month ago. I thought we were solid, until finances came up. 3 years ago, I inherited a fortune. I live modestly, work part-time as a teacher, and budget carefully so the money lasts. Only my dad and my sister know the full amount. When Tom moved in, I paid all the bills except most groceries. He wanted us to eventually buy a bigger house together so his dad could move in. I love his dad, but I don't want to live with in-laws. I suggested maybe a separate unit one day, but Tom kept pushing for us to buy a larger house. That's when we had to talk about finances. Tom earns about $10,000 a month and has $100,000 saved. I have millions invested, and about $40,000 a month in income. When I told him, he was shocked. His reaction was that if I had that much, I should just buy the house and cover everything. I explained that just because I can, doesn't mean I should. I proposed separate finances, a joint account for shared expenses, and splitting costs proportionally to our income. I also said I wanted a prenup. That's when everything blew up. He argued that we should be equal partners, meaning I'd buy the house, put it in both our names, and he gets 50%, even if he didn't contribute. After days of fighting, he gave me an ultimatum: final offer, you buy the house, we each own half, I'll sign the prenup, take it or leave it. When I asked if that meant breaking up, he hesitated, then said yes. So I took off the ring and told him it was over. He immediately backtracked, saying he didn't mean it, but by then I couldn't ignore what he'd said. Later, he accused me of choosing money over love. But I told him he threw the relationship away by demanding I bankroll our life and give him half of something I worked to protect. Edit. When we first started dating, Tom questioned how I managed my lifestyle and a teaching salary. I told him I had a small inheritance that let me buy my house and live comfortably, but I didn't share the full truth. During our relationship, we always split dates and trips 50-50. When he moved in, I kept paying utilities while he handled groceries. Everything was fine until after we got engaged and started talking openly about finances. That's when he said that since I had the means, I should buy the bigger house and still put it in both our names. I explained that his share of ownership would have to match his contribution. Until this point, I never saw him as a gold digger. That's why this shift shocked me. Right now, I'm in my bedroom, and I told him he can sleep in the guest room tonight, but that he needs to move out tomorrow. Update. This morning I woke up and Tom had made breakfast and asked if we could talk. He said things got out of control last night and he wanted to explain his side. He told me he was upset that I had lied about my finances and felt like I didn't trust him. He said the money difference made him feel that I would always have more power in the relationship, and that he might be vulnerable to financial abuse. He insisted that he wasn't interested in my money but wanted to feel that I would choose him over money. He admitted that he handled things badly and should never have reacted the way he did or given me an ultimatum. He said he felt lost and frustrated. The only thing he emphasized really matters to him is his father eventually moving in. They're very close, and he wants to take care of him as he gets older. He apologized, said he didn't want to lose me, and told me he was willing to accept my conditions. I apologized for not being upfront about my inheritance, but I also told him I wasn't sure I could continue the relationship. His reaction last night felt entitled and manipulative, and I'm afraid he was showing me who he really is. I told him I love him, but I'm worried money will always be an issue between us. If he's already pushing for a house before marriage, what else might he push for later? I explained that the only way I could even consider continuing is if he agreed to a bulletproof prenup stating that in case of divorce, he only leaves with what he contributed, nothing more. He would also have to agree that if we buy a house together, his equity would only reflect his contribution. I suggested other options like a guest house for his father or a condo nearby, but not living directly with us. We would also need to create a monthly budget where we both contribute proportionally to our incomes into a joint account for shared expenses, while keeping our separate accounts for personal money. And finally, we would have to go to counseling together. He agreed to all of this. Still, I told him I don't know if I can trust him again and need time to think. He agreed to go stay in a hotel for a few days to give us both space. Right now, I honestly don't know what to do. Part of me sees his point and wonders if he just overreacted. But another part of me is afraid that if I ignore his behavior, I'll be setting myself up for bigger problems in the future. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Money doesn't change people, but it exposes their true self. Take that information as you will. Commenter 2. He said the money difference made him feel that she would always have more power in the relationship than him, but I'm guessing it would have been okay for him to have the power. He's just telling on himself. Because, if he was in her position, he would financially abuse her. He's trying to do it to her now, talking about how she should pay more of their expenses because she has more money. And, if he were to bring his dad to live with them like he wants, no doubt she will be expected to cover his portion too. Commenter 3. It sounds like his fear isn't really about the money, it's about power in the relationship. That's fair to talk about. The problem is he didn't talk, he went straight to ultimatums.